Now, here's Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
Well, certainly a very complex storm system and one that's sticking around for quite a while. Quite simply, it's stalled. It's kind of looping around and really not moving offshore. That means additional precipitation and wind coming in for this evening, tonight, right on through tomorrow. So a lot to cover. Let's first start with some of the highlights or the lowlights if you're tired of winter. But here's the deal now with the falling temperatures that will allow the snow to start sticking more readily to the asphalt, untreated surfaces and starting to accumulate. In fact, most of the accumulations with this storm will kick in this evening, tonight through tomorrow morning. Mostly snow now through tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, it may start to mix with a little bit of sleet. The gusty winds will continue, especially along the south shore, 45 to 55 miles per hour. Most of the snow from Providence points north and east, unlike traditionally in a winter storm where it's usually the northwest corner of the state, though. Northwest Rhode Island, you will see accumulating snow. Further south and west you go, the amounts taper down a little bit, and with the snow and the strong winds, isolated power outages are still possible. Again, we're going to take a more detailed look at that accumulation forecast in just a second. The first round of accumulating snow occurring very early this morning, places like Mansfield, Massachusetts, with several inches of snow, and then during the afternoon, letting up a little bit. Now, the coastal flood warning is for east coastal Massachusetts only, does not include the Rhode Island coastline, but to give you an idea of the kind of strong onshore winds across places like Scituate, Mass. I mean, pictures that you would normally see in the summertime during a hurricane, but this is the pictures along east coastal Massachusetts with huge waves and some coastal flooding. So this is unfortunately a concern for the Massachusetts coastline, east-facing beaches, and not so much for our own south coast. Downtown Providence right now with wet snow and fog, and the temperatures are starting to drop. Providence at 33, Newport 34, New Bedford at 33. The situation today was such that, the air above was cold enough to support snow, but for a while, especially during the afternoon, the ground temperatures were warm, so a lot of it was melting. Now that the ground temperatures will be cooling off, all of this snow will start to stick and will resume some of the accumulations. Temperatures outside right now have really dropped off in the last several hours, and they'll continue to do so throughout the evening hours and overnight as our storm system offshore continues to throw back moisture into the cold air, and while we have the accumulating snow on the way. Here's the wider view. The storm itself is large, and even though it's well offshore, the wind field is still impinging our coastline with tropical storm force winds. So getting real close here. Futurecast starts off this evening, and all this blue represents snow. This is 11 o'clock at night, right on through the overnight hours into the morning commute for tomorrow. This will certainly hamper travel. The only rain we can find tomorrow morning is out across the outer Cape. Very little, if any, snow out across the Cape and the islands. Here we are tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. It is still snowing, perhaps a little sleet mixing in. Late tomorrow afternoon, some residual snow. Finally, by Friday evening, Friday night, it's out of here. We'll start to see some clearing skies. How much snow? Well, the maximum no longer anticipated for northwest Rhode Island, but actually right in this red zone, which is essentially from roughly Cumberland and just north and east of Providence, out in interior Bristol and Plymouth counties in Massachusetts, 9 to 12. This 5 to 9 includes most of northern Rhode Island, Providence, Metro, Kent County, Warwick, Cranston, West Warwick, then further south and west, especially towards the south shore, on the order of 3 to 5. But the snow will pick up in intensity and start to stick this evening and right on through the overnight as temperatures start to drop off. Very windy. There's a wind-blown accumulating snow for tomorrow morning, looking at a temperature of 32. It continues tomorrow afternoon, may mix with a little bit of sleet and a temperature at 36. The wind speeds along the south shore, even tomorrow, will still be on the gusty side, anywhere from roughly 45 to 50 miles per hour, though towards Friday evening and Friday night, they will start to diminish. And finally, some light at the end of the tunnel. We dry out for the weekend with some sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures starting to warm up. Actually, that Saturday temperature should read 40 and not 30. How did that happen? I wanted to make it warmer, but Saturday's not bad. 40, not 30, and 45 on Sunday.